Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bihata Nishacharachamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. Ramannasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham. Rame Chittalaya Sada Bhavatu Me Bho Rama Mamuddhara Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidwaram Satgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Om Shri Chinmaya Satgurave Namaha. 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 Whenever we get a chance, we have to keep increasing our duration of meditation. It's one test of spiritual stamina, how long we can sit and keep our mind on one topic. And the beauty is, if we do the longer sessions, even sitting for that session gives benefits. Meaning, even if mind did not settle down, just doing that 45 minutes without movement in one place, that itself has its own benefits, and we can increase it as much as we can. 12th chapter, 13th verse onwards. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitrah karuna eva cha nirmamo nirahankarah samadukha sukhakshami santushtas satatam yogi yatatma drudha nischayah mayyarpitamano buddhihi yo madbhaktas same priyah यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोकः लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैः मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः. In Navada Bhakti, the sixth form of devotion is Chatadama Sila Birati Bahu Karma Nirata Nirantara Sajjana Dharma. Chatadama Sila means sixth form of devotion is an advanced stage of devotion where the seeker is turning more within. Chata Dhamma Sila. But if he is withdrawing himself from too much of worldly activities, desire prompted activities, where is he investing his time? How is his routine like? Nirata Nirantara Sajjana Dharma. He is constantly striving to work on his own imperfections. Nirata means striving very hard. Nirantara means continuously. Sajjana Dharma. What is Sajjan Dharma? That is given in 13th verse onwards. What is the Sajjana Dharma of a Bhakta is given in 13th verse onwards of 12th chapter, Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. That is also one connection of why this topic has come. If somebody says, I want to live a spiritual life, where do I start and what should I work on? Bhagavan has given a list of topics. He says, one by one, try to perfect these facets. So last session we had seen 14th and 15th verse. Santushtah satatam yogi, one who is always content with whatever God has blessed, doesn't want anything more than what Bhagwan gives. Yatatma drudha. The word yatatma has come here also. Putting forth effort, it will not happen by itself. And his convictions about things are very precise. Once he makes a resolve for himself, this is how I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to do as sadhana. This is the nature of truth. That resolve doesn't change. That is the uniqueness of this sadhaka. For that also he is striving. Mayyar pitamano buddhihi. When he hears the name of Bhagwan, he gets joy. When he listens to Leelas, he gets joy. That is how his mind and buddhi both are surrendered or offered to God. That devotee is very dear to me. Next verse was Yasman no dujate lokah lokat no dujate chayah. This bhakta is somebody from whom world doesn't get agitated. And he is also somebody who doesn't get agitated by the world. Wherever he is placed, he is able to practice this value, and that itself becomes devotion of Bhagavan. The sources of agitation we had seen could be speech, could be body language. There is a long list. Working on them itself becomes bhakti for this devotee. And on the other hand, because somebody is a bhakta, somebody is a devotee, not necessary everybody else is like that. And if he sees anything contrary to his conviction, that doesn't disturb him. Lokat na udvijate chayah. That is this devotee. Harsha amarsha bhaya udvaigahi muktah. These four things have left him. They said there is no point staying here. We are not getting what we want. Who are those four things? Overexcitement, jealousy, fear, and agitation. Harsha means overexcitement. Amarsha means envy, asahishnuta, towards somebody's progress or somebody opinion. Asahishnuta towards viewpoint or asahishnuta towards somebody moving forward than us. That is called as amarsha. Bhaya means fear, and udvega means some kind of agitation which comes by seeing erroneous conduct. Or for any reason, that is just one trigger. Udvega means something has gotten into the mind and it keeps spinning very fast. That is called as udvega, that he is free from. One who is like this, that person is very dear to me. Yaha sachame priya. Now Bhagavan continues on few more qualities, which are again very profound ones that he is pointing out. Anapekshashuchir daksha udasino gatavyatha Sarvarmbhaparityagi yo madbhaktas same priyah anapekshashuchir dakshah udasino gatavyatha Sarvarmbhaparityagi yo madbhaktas same priyah. First word is anapeksha. Apeksha is the word. Anapeksha means one who doesn't have apeksha. Now that word apeksha is very interesting the way it is formed. Apa plus iksha. Apa plus iksha becomes apeksha. Ikshanam means to see. Ikshanam means to see. Apa ikshana means what? To see incorrectly. Apa upasarga, when you add, the meaning becomes to see incorrectly. Like we have the word apakarma, means incorrect karma. Apakirti means incorrect fame. Like that, apa-iksha means incorrect seeing. Now, what is he seeing incorrectly? He is seeing karma phala incorrectly. The result of action and the action that he has done. The connection between both of them, he is seeing it incorrectly. This is Amarakosha, meaning of the word apeksha. Between cause and effect, seeing the connection incorrectly, that is called as apeksha. Now, how will you apply it? Whatever action we are doing now, it will bring some result. But if I feel, because I have done this action, I should get that result, that is erroneous seeing of the connection between action and result. And that is what we call as expectation. General translation of apeksha is what? Expectation. Anapeksha means one who doesn't have expectation. Apeksha in Hindi means different. Huh? Means if you are waiting for somebody, you say हम उनकी अपेक्षा कर रहे हैं. Some children, they learn Hindi from Mahabharata serial. So suddenly they use some words which are from ancient archaic times. Somebody was waiting for me down. This boy says, हम आपकी प्रतीक्षा कर रहे थे. But there also ikshanam word is there. Towards you, we were having ikshanam. Prati ikshanam becomes pratiksha. So here if you say apeksha, which means looking at the result in the erroneous way. So Bhagavan says this devotee is somebody who doesn't have this erroneous insistence on result. Anapeksha means one who doesn't have an eye on the result. Sometimes if somebody is working very hard and nobody notices, he says, I did all these things. At least they could have said, thank you. Now, attention on thank you is a apeksha for that. You see how that etymology is made? Having an vision, apeksha means to see. To see the results in an erroneous way, that is called as apeksha. Anapeksha means the moment he drops this erroneous perspective of the result, he is free. Whether somebody says something, somebody doesn't say anything, he says, I have nothing to do with whatever is coming as a result. That person is able to practice this value of anapeksha. This we saw in the previous verse also. The moment we hold on to a result and expect that it will happen this way, we don't have to have any other bondage. This one thing is sufficient to keep us bound. That's why Bhagavan said, Dhyanat karma phala tyagaha, tyaga chantihi anantaram. The moment a person drops this apeksha, person drops this karma phala, insistence on karma phala, peace is right then and there. Doesn't even have to wait, it is available right there. And a person is able to do this only if we have discovered some higher source of joy from within. If our joy comes from acknowledgement, then it is very difficult to be anapeksha towards that acknowledgement. Only when I have discovered some higher source of joy, which is independent of that outer source, that person can practice this value of anapeksha. Next one is a value which Bhagwan calls it as an austerity. Shuchihi. Shuchi means cleanliness in simple words, but it is at two levels. One is outside, one is inside. In the Ramcharitmanas, whenever Bhagwan visits any ashram, the first adjective given for an ashram is not Sundara. First adjective given is Shuchi. Valmiki Rishi's ashram and Bhagwan sees for the first time. Shuchi Sundara Ashrama Nirakhi. Harshe Rajivanan. Bhagwan felt joy looking at this ashram which was so beautiful. First of all, it was clean and it was beautiful. Suchi Sundara. Means it's a quality which a sadhaka is given constant reminders that we have to be very alert. This is about outer purity, outer cleanliness, how things are around us, because it reflects both ways. Whatever is going on in our mind will reflect in the surrounding, and whatever is the surrounding will influence the mind back. Whenever we buy or sell homes or look for homes, you see how they organize and arrange the homes. Many of them, I was told, they take drone pictures and videos, and all the furniture is laid out, the lighting is done. Home doesn't include that. After you buy the home, they'll take it away. But the very fact it is arranged that way is because it influences the buyer. Same thing if you keep it very disorganized, then we don't feel like going with that place, in spite of knowing that we are not buying that. So that is this quality of Shuchi, which influences the mind, and a sadhaka has agraha towards it. Agra means he's striving hard to be this way. Wherever we have to put forth effort, that thing is called as tapasya. So Bhagwan puts this in sharirika tapas. Means what? Mind will not naturally want to do it. By default, it will not want to do this. The very fact we have to push the mind to do it. That is why it becomes a tapasya. That is external tapas. And more a person is used to this. Even small things, they will prefer purity. They will prefer cleanliness over other things. One good example is if we have a good, very expensive cloth, but unclean. Some patch somewhere, something has fallen. In spite of it being expensive, we will not feel like wearing it. What decided the difference? Shuchita. Now, how alert he is about outside things, the same way he is alert about inside purity. Internal purity is the same way as it is for external purity. Just like he doesn't like a cloth with little bit of dirt on it, he doesn't like his mind with even one impure thought. That is a real metric of spiritual growth. Perfecting is later, but being restless with an impure mind, being restless, seeing an impure mind and striving forth to remove that impurity, that is a sign of a sadhaka. That is a shuchita, which is the internal purity. If you notice something and ask the question, what makes the mind impure? Because mind is made up of sattvic aspect of 5 elements. So it is made up of sattva guna. So why do we call mind as rajasic, mind as tamasic, and we say it is impure? The vishaya which it is thinking decides whether it is rajasic or tamasic or sattvic. Mind by itself is sattvic. So if I want purity in the mind, what should I be doing? I should make sure that the vishayas which are coming to this mind are sattvic. In Chandogya Upanishad, there is one Upanishad mantra which says, Ahara Shuddhau Sattva Shuddhi. If my food is pure, my mind is pure. But food, not only the ahara that we eat, but all my sense organs, what they're taking inside. Now, what is the benefit of Sattva Shuddhi? What is the benefit of purity of mind? Sattva Shuddhau Dhruva Smritihi. If I have a pure mind, whatever I have learned, spiritual knowledge and worldly knowledge, both become available to me. What puts a covering on my learning is impurity of this mind. Sattva Shuddhau Dhruva Smritihi. And if I have Dhruva Smriti, all knots of the heart are cut asunder. Means if I'm able to recollect this knowledge, whatever confusion comes, whatever doubt comes, I'm able to resolve it on the strength of this knowledge. Where did it all start? Ahara Shuddhi. Started with being very careful and moderate about the inputs which are coming in and how it is affecting this mind. Means the only metric a sadhaka uses, where I should engage, where I should disengage. He says, after engaging, did I feel more purer? Or after discussing that topic, did I feel more impurity in the mind? Either in the form of raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, lobha. All those are impurities. Did that interaction, did that conversation make me feel purer? Or was it bringing these kind of other thoughts? So he's very alert how we should engage and make sure that these things don't creep in. In fact, whatever rules and regulations Mahatmas follow in terms of their food, in terms of how they engage with people, all of that has this as the basis. The purity that they have gained through their sadhana. They treasure it. And the beauty is, even if we are in their proximity, we feel purified by their tapasya. That is the power of Shuchita at mind level, where a person is so alert, not allowing any impure thought to come in. That is the insignia of a devotee. His devotion is powerful enough to do this for him. The sadhana part is the other side. How to do it is whatever has been discussed before. If a person is holding on to nama, name of the Lord, impure thought and name both cannot coexist. That name is powerful enough to remove the impurity from this heart. So that is his practice. He is able to practice this Shuchita. Next one is Daksha. Daksha means one who has quick thinking and right thinking. Quick thinking alone is not good enough. He thinks quickly, but whatever he decides, that is the right thing. This is Shankaracharya defines Daksha. He says, based on the situation which is presented in front of him, he is able to think on the feet and arrive at the right decision. The Adhyatmic answer to how he is able to do this is that Hiranyagarbha is always available to that Vyashti mind. He has tuned his mind to totality in such a way, surrendered to God in such a way, that the total mind is available for him whenever he needs it. That is the quality of Daksha. If you want a good example of Dakshata, This is our Hanumanji. In Sundarkanda, there are so many instances where he has to think right at that moment. Surasa becomes big, he becomes bigger. She becomes even bigger, Hanumanji becomes twice Surasa. Now he wonders, how long will this go? So that ability to become small, get in, come out and go, that is Dakshata. In a given situation, what I should do, and a bhakta's decision will most likely be the right decision. That is this Dakshata. Because sometimes, we have some erroneous notions about bhakti. We feel bhakta means he cannot think, always crying, always emotional. Whenever it comes to worldly matters, he is a total. Hindi words are coming. Let me. He is somebody who is unable to decide. Simpleton. What this is telling us is bhakta is simple, not a simpleton. Daksha. Another thing of dakshata is it should be with madhurta. Dakshata, the slippery slope is if you are not alert, it can be like Daksha Prajapati's dakshata. Daksha Prajapati also got his name Daksha because he was very efficient. 15 projects he could manage. They said, let us make him CEO of creation. Whole creation, let him run. But that Dakshata was without madhurta. He thought, I am the one who is running this creation. Bhagwan Shiva should stand up when I come inside. So this Dakshata is unlike that. Dakshata of a Bhakta is with madhurta. In third chapter, Bhagwan repeatedly tells this. Karma Yoga means we have to do our work well, but without attachment, without pride. And both these extremes to balance is difficult. If we say, I don't want to get attached, then we become careless about the work. I'm not doing it, let anybody do it. And if I get involved in doing it, I get so attached, I define myself with that work. The ability to be in between, that is this dakshata. Anapekshaha shuchir dakshaha. Next one is udasina. Udasina, the word itself means seated above. Little bit above this person is seated. Above what is he seated? Above vyavahara. The transactional world that he lives in should not become so overpowering that it takes Bhagwan away from his mind, that it takes spirituality away from his mind or makes him lose reverence for spirituality. That is another pitfall in karma, pitfall in vyavahara. If you are not alert, we will forget that vyavahara is for paramartha and not paramartha is for vyavahara. If person doesn't have this ability to become udasina, that vyavahara itself will catch us in such a way that it will not allow us to go further. That ability to stay 2 inches above vyavahara, that is called as udasina. Udasina doesn't mean disinterested. Generally, Hindi translation is that. Udasina means disinterested from that work, but here udasina means utasina, one who is seated above. If you build cabins, in forest, you have to leave space down for flood water to go, for other things to pass by, so that you can happily stay inside. If you build it at ground level, that water will flow and take the cabin away. That is this udasina, who is able to stay little away from vyavahara, seated above Vyavahara, so that Vyavahara doesn't affect him. Another meaning of Udasina is one who doesn't take sides due to Ragadvesha. One who doesn't take Paksha. Paksha means side. Pakshapata means taking strong sides. The one who is free from this, that person is Udasina. If we look at all avatars of Bhagavan, we will notice their Udasinata. The best example for this is Bhagavan Krishna himself. When Samba goes and does that mischief, Bhagavan comes to know what he has done. What he says, even if it is my own near and dear one, I will not break the rules of karma. Whatever is to be done is to be done. That kind of nishpakshata. Very difficult to get. Huh? But the one who is able to do this, that person is called as Udasina. Doesn't take sides because this is my person. Doesn't keep somebody away because I don't like that person. The Pakshapata is not based on Ragadvesha. The one who is able to remain equanimous and take decision because it is in larger good. That ability is called as Udasina. Udasinah gatavyatah. Vyatha means affliction. The agitation which comes in the mind when something is taken away. Vyatha means that. The modern example is kids, whenever Wi-Fi is taken away, if they're playing or doing something, you see the intensity with which they are seeking it back. That is called as Vyatha. It is not only Dukkham. Wi-Fi not being there, Dukkham you can say. It is one level above that at the mind level. It is called as Vyatha. This devotee is somebody from whom this Vyatha is removed. There is nothing in his life which makes him miserable. He might have preferences. He might have needs, requirements, but there is nothing which is so important. There is nothing with which he cannot live in such a way that he becomes miserable. That is his quality of the person, Gatavyatah. And there are several reasons why this Vyatha comes. Many commentators, they have given in their commentaries. Vyatha means affliction at mind level, where this person gets very tormented by situations. One of the things of Vyatha is, one of the expressions of Vyatha is living in constant fear and doubt. Whatever the trigger might be, but always living in this fear and doubt, that brings Vyatha. Means we have misunderstood certain facets of life by which that erroneous notion itself is making us miserable from within. The example of Vyatha in Ramayana is Sugriva. If you look at his character, you will understand what is Vyatha. Always in fear. Anybody comes, he feels it is Vali who has sent. Running from one place to another, trying to seek solace, not finding it anywhere. That particular state of mind is called as Vyatha. What was his antidote? He thought until now, I have to fight Vali on my own. The day he comes to know, I am not alone. He builds a friendship with Bhagwan Rama, and Bhagwan promises him, On my strength, you let go of all your worries. That becomes his anchor for letting go of Vyatha. If you see in Bhagavad Gita also, the state in which Arjuna is in the beginning, that is called as Vyatha. The bow slipping down, mind so agitated. What was Arjuna's journey? First of all, he acknowledged, I have Vyatha. Whatever I deny, I cannot face it, I cannot work on it. So he acknowledged it, but at the same time, sought the right antidote. It is not only, it is not enough to just keep saying that my mind is like this, mind is like this. It is like saying, this cloth is dirty, cloth is dirty. If it is dirty, it will not become clean. I will have to do something about it by which that dirt will remove. Like that, this Vyatha, if I acknowledge it, what was Arjuna's antidote? Seek the right perspectives. Do satsang. And his last one was Nashto moha smritir labdha. Bhagwan, my delusion has gone, Vyatha has gone, and I've discovered whatever is the nature of the truth, whatever you have taught me. As Saguna Rupa also, Nirguna Rupa also. On the strength of that, his Vyatha reduced. So that is one perspective of Vyatha, that whenever we fail to appreciate a bigger picture of life, we get caught up in smaller things. So when we see what is Bhagwan's plan, what is his strength, why is he putting us in certain places, and what is the way out also, that reduces Vyatha in that person. Second reason of Vyatha is, this another commentator, he says, overcommitting. When does mind become miserable? When it commits to too many things than what it can handle. Because somewhere the mind makes a connection between growth and karma. If there are many things to do, then that mind can say, I'm growing. And that disproportionate commitment leads to Vyatha. This is true with everything. Whenever we think about business growth, you will see Vyatha comes when we overcommit more to things than what we can handle. Whatever we have taken up, whatever we want to grow further in, the spiritual perspective for that is do it slowly. Do it step by step. Just like Yogasana, when we start doing it, we don't start Shirshasana on first day. You do small asanas. Stretch a little bit more. Then finally, when things are ready, we can do advanced asanas. What will happen if I do the most advanced asana on day one? Vyatha. That is the same thing when it comes to Vyavahara also. So Gata Vyatha is somebody who is very alert. In fact, Bhagwan mentioned this as quality of Yoga Ruda in 6th chapter. Out of the 3 things which are mentioned, what were the things? One who doesn't get pulled towards sense object. Second one is one who doesn't get helplessly pulled towards actions. And third one is one who doesn't do erroneous sankalpas. That person is a spiritual seeker ready to meditate. How does it start, that verse? Indriyartheshu na karmasu anushajyate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rudah tada uchyate. What is the first quarter? Yada hinendriyartheshu. Doesn't get engaged with sense object, doesn't get helplessly pulled by sense object, then na karmasu anushajyate, doesn't get helplessly pulled towards karmas. And the second line is sarva sankalpa sannyasi, doesn't make erroneous resolves. That person is yogarud. He can meditate. But where did that start? Gatavyatah. In his mind, he is very alert. What is my goal? What I should be doing? And what is that thing which I should allow to happen? That is this quality of Gatavyatah. Sarvarambhaparityagi. This is also a nice indicator. Arambha means to start. Sarva Arambha means everything which is ready to start. Parityaga means gives up all of that. Sarva Arambha Parityagi. Here, literal meaning will not do much good, because nobody can become like this. Sarva Arambha Parityagi. One meaning of this is he doesn't start any kamya karma. Desire prompted actions which are more self-centered. I will do this, I will get that, and if I get this, I'll do these things. All those things he is not interested in. Desire prompted actions, one who is dropping, that person is called as Sarvarambha Parityagi. One who drops kamya karma. See, karma by itself doesn't decide whether it is good or bad. What decides is the intention. Yajna that we do, is it a good karma or bad karma? Good karma in general. But the yajna that Daksha did, why did it get destroyed? Because the intention was not good. His purpose of doing that yajna was to belittle Bhagwan Shiva. First only he made plans. I will call everybody, not call Bhagwan Shiva. The point is, karma by itself is not called as good or bad. Because whenever we discuss this, right, no kamya karma, we might get a question. Buying a home, buying a car, where does it fall? Which type of karma is it? If you say kamya karma sarvarambha parityagi, that is what we have to drop. How is that possible? The point there is, what is my intention for doing that? Buying a house, buying a car, what is it that I want to do having owned it? Is it going to be used for satkarma and dharma? Or is it some other purpose for which I am doing it? That realignment, if it happens, then that karma is satkarma only. It will help us in our sadhana. But the moment the intention becomes erroneous, with good intention, whichever karmas we start, they get Bhagwan's power. If Hanumanji is burning Lanka, the winds are favorable to Hanumanji, because intention is on the right side. And for Daksha, even if he is doing some good action, intention is not right, it doesn't get Bhagwan's power. That is his quality of Sarvarambha Parityagi. He is doing all those things, but he is constantly checking within that may my sankalpa be right. May my resolve and purpose be right, not erroneous. Second meaning of Sarvarambha Parityagi is, this is a sadhaka or a sevaka who doesn't have an agenda of his own. That person is also called as Sarvarambha Parityagi. He doesn't have his own agenda. He is available for his master whenever master needs. Somebody like Lakshmanji. He did so many things for Bhagwan, but his sankalpa, was never his own sankalpa. The one who is of this nature, that person is called as Sarvarmbhaparityagi. Okay, two meanings are there. One is not having kamya karma, not starting kamya karma. And second is not starting karmas with strong sankalpas of our own. Okay. Few more verses are there that we will see in the next session. So next session is going to be our last session for this semester, because the Saturday after we have Swami Aparajitananji's Yajna in Berkeley. Then the Saturday after that is Balotsav. Then the setup, everything will be changed here. So the following Saturday also, and also everybody is busy, preparations and everything. So next Saturday will be our last session. So we'll see, I'll adjust the meditation time and the class time, and we'll try to complete this chapter. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.